Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What do I do? Take the earplugs out of my head. What do I do for you? I got some people doing some workouts. You hear that noise going on, some stuff going on out the back of me. So, okay, that's just the sound effect. So that's what's going on. All right, let's do what we do. Writism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's ride. Right Thinker's mission, and I'm on it, doggone it. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get all my right thinkers to do just that, and I'm giving you all the ammunition you need for that. So stay tuned. Let's go. Let's got this thing going. Know thyself is a rhetorical question that I ask, but if you don't have the answer to it, then I can help you with that. That's my goal, my mission. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Just disregard them. That's on them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. We teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A lot less aggravating. A person who knows but knows not that they know it's okay. They're asleep spiritually. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up and knowledge yourself. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in it. Right think and know thyself. Enter Maya. Be true. Speaking of Maya, perfect segue. Yeah, I'm still here. But from Maya, I'm taking you to over. This is the advanced lesson, right? Think it's the tree of life. That's where we headed, and some lessons to come. So I'm just gonna give you a heads up. If you follow along, that's where we're going. All right. Today we're gonna talk about Maya and serpent power, aka Kundalini. Yeah, right thinkers. Maya philosophy is intimately related to the teachings of what we call Arat Shechem. Shek means Hekhem. Sekhmet is the female version of that power, which you call Arat Shechem, what we call serpent power now, what we use in Egypt as the feline power. But watch this. Now, the Arat Shechem is what? A dormant life force, listen, which in every human being is dormant, possessing. Every human being possesses this dormant life force in them, but it activates. Here we go. It activates in what? In accordance with a person's level of righteousness and virtue. What that means? That is, the more virtuous and righteous a person, the more life force awakens. And as it awakens, what happens? It leads a human being to the heights of spiritual enlightenment. When I was practicing and reading and learning this 10, 15 years ago, I'm experiencing it. I'm living it. I'm going through it. I'm practicing. I'm putting it to use to see if it works. And to my amazement and to my shock and surprise, it do. So now that I can teach it and explain to other people, when I'm hearing my students say, everything will work, I laugh and giggle to myself because I know that for myself. That's why I gave it to you. As an ex-drug dealer, I made sure before I gave you anything, I had to try it. So when it comes to teaching, my philosophy haven't changed. Before I gave it to you, I tried it. So understand that. So let's go. Now, trust and understand that one fact. And this process, watch this, only happens and will happen what? Automatically. So it's important to lead a life of righteousness and virtue, which leads to what? Maya ad, or purity of the heart. You want to know how to purify your heart, how to make your heart light as a feather? They was teaching you. I'm trying to teach you and show you when you live this, it will happen. Simple as that. It ain't what I say. It's natural. It's innate. The following, watch this. Now you got the following images that come from the papyruses known as the Per Im Heru, or the Book of Enlightenment. For more details on serpent power, I have the book. You see the books, what? The Serpent Power, I got that in there. And the Book of the Dead, got that sitting right there, by my teacher, last 20 years, Brother Muata Ashby. Now, if you want to subscribe, follow any, that's what you can do. So whenever I'm giving you something from the book, you can go and find it for yourself. Do your due diligence, and then I ain't got time to go through all of it, but I'm gonna give you the best I could from it. And if you want more, you put the work in. Okay, so I'm pointing in the right direction. Let's go. Now, the ancient Egyptian Greenfield Papyrus and the Egyptian Book of Coming Forth by Day in the Kina, which are both treatises of the Saharan resurrection religion of ancient Egyptian, contains important what teachings in reference to what was in ancient times called WRIGHT Sekhet. Again, we had a name for it, or again, serpent power, and is today commonly known as what? Kundalini yoga from India, which is fine. Again, we started it, they took and expounded on it, no problem. Just understand that. Watch this. Now we explore both of these in the Book of Egyptian Yoga, got that too. The Philosophy of Enlightenment, that one too. And here we will discuss what? Some more. Now, my right thinkers, advanced. Okay, we raising our level now. We're gonna get advanced theory related to what? Serpent power. And the first level of serpent power is yoga of meditation. If you meditate daily, put your work in, you communing with your higher self, aka God. That's what that purpose is for. When you're prayer, I pray first. Why? I'm talking to God. And when I go into meditation, I'm listening. That's just it goes hand in hand. That's how it should be. A lot of people think just praying. No, that's just a one-way conversation. Meditation is you receive it. Understand that. So the first thing you need to understand about the serpent power and Kundalini is the yoga of meditation. I mean, you got to mentally be prepared and get in touch with your higher self. Watch this. Now we got some audio tape meditation series which follows along with this section. Now, if you are interested in audio workshop and meditation music content, the publisher or the book distributor. I don't do none of that. I just teach. Now, the subject of life force, energy, and the sublimation of sexual energy. I'm here now about sexual retention. Newsflash, it's not new. My man, Nikola Tesla, never had sex. He's a genius. Why? Because he said all his sexual energy, all his cerebral spinal fluid, he supplemented and used it to acquire spiritual knowledge. He was a genius for doing that. It's your choice, but another lesson there. But that's the whole point. The more you supplement your sexual energy, it becomes spiritual energy, and it existed many thousands of years in Egypt prior to what? The development in modern India under the name Kundalini Yoga. That guy, men with the big penis, he was telling you, I control this. Okay, I know what this is. I got control of it. Most of us go around just putting it anywhere, like dogs. We jump on the back and say, I want to have fun. That's lower nature. That's beastly nature. That's just pleasure. That's all you're going to get from that. It ain't spiritual. Nothing spiritual about sex. Okay, and it's all about reproduction and becoming intimate with that person on the spiritual level. But when y'all make it just physical and all that, that just loses everything. Okay, moving on. Sorry about that. I'm here to hit on about that. What was that? Okay, here you go. Now, it later appeared in many parts of the world, but it did not find extensive documentation until when? The sage of India, my guy, I follow my mystic, Sadhguru, composed what? The voluminous scriptures in relation to Kundalini Yoga. He wrote many volumes about Kundalini. And everybody got an idea. I'm about to break mine down for you too, because we had one in Egypt also. Now, as in India, the Egyptian seven powers are related to the seven energy centers of the subtle body. We call it serpent power because you see in the caduceus with the two serpents going up. That's the medical sign for today. That stem represent Asar, or they call it the caduceus, Tahutis caduceus. Asar, the male part, then you got the two female energies, Ida and Pingala, they're going to tell you, but we called it Nephthys and Aset. Okay, remember that. So, where we at? Down here, down here somewhere. That's the concept. We had it in Egypt a long time ago. I did mark this spot. I did mark this spot. Okay, here you go. Here. Now, as in China, excuse me, as in India, the chakra system, they labeled it that. Watch this. The Egyptians, we call it the seven powers, which are related to what? The seven energy centers in the subtle body, which are not visible to the ordinary eye and are in the same space as the what? The physical spine, the vertebra, though not in the same plane or not on the same plane as the physical body. There's no, nothing to say it's there. The ancients say it's there. No x-rays, no MRIs, no. They are linked to us this, to what? The awakening of one's spiritual powers and consciousness. As a Mason, they tell you get 3 degrees to be a master Mason. But they don't tell you, you still don't know who you are because you're still in the dark to who you are. 3rd level, you're still living on the BC level. You got to raise your level to 7th degree. You got to go to the red house. So everything is in levels. So even with the consciousness, 7 days a week. At that time, it was 7 visible planets. 7 was the sign of completion. No, we know 9 is now, but this was ancient. So they had everything was about 7. 7 liberal arts, 7 colors to the rainbow, 7 musical notes. So see we're going with the 7? Okay, it has significance. Now, as one progresses, watch this, on your spiritual path of evolution, while either purposely employing what? A yogic spiritual discipline. Tell you I live spiritual discipline. You got to have a yoga spiritual discipline. That means study, and then you application of your spiritual and philosophic scriptures. Reflect on them and meditate on them, or learning through what? The old-fashioned way, the process of trial and error. I did a lot of studying over the years. I did a lot of mental work. I did a lot of physical work, putting in the work, putting it to use, implementing in my daily life, seeing how it worked for a long time. Before I brought it to anybody's attention, I did all of that. And that's how I know. You ain't got to go to some menace, some monks, or be a monastery, or be a Charlotte monk. No, you can practice in your own time, put in your own work, your due diligence. And watch this. Trial and error sometimes works. You try this, if it don't work, don't do that. What I give you works. Why? Because I did it. I'm not going to give you what don't work. If something didn't work, I'm scrapping that. Why? It didn't work. Don't give it to them. It don't work for you. Simple. And watch this. Now, you got the way trial and error, but watch this. These centers will what? Automatically open, which allowing one to what? Experience, listen, increasing communion with what? The higher self, aka God. When you can commune with God, you don't need to believe in God. You don't need nobody preach. No, you don't need none of that. You just need to understand you got a direct line. That's spiritual awakening. Okay. If you line somebody else to get you to God, I'm pointing in the right direction. You got to get there on your own. Okay. I'm there, been there, got there, trying to teach you how to get there. That's my purpose and that's my mission. So let me get this thing started. I'm about to, I got to go. All right, listen. But this process of raising one's spiritual power may be aided by what? Specific exercises such as what? Concentration, proper breathing. I tell anybody, the main thing about anything is breathing. If your heart is relaxed, it will function. If it's agitated because you anxiety filled and your mind is ignorant, you just get to crazy, your heart will respond in the same manner. It won't function. When you ever see a guy in crisis situation, the hero, the cool guy, he always just thinking, manipulating, plotting, planning. his heart rate stays cool. My man, and Mike Flint, no matter what happened, he was cool. He worked it out. So understanding that's the power that you have when you control your breathing and your meditation on the what? The meaning of your spiritual symbols. You know what this means, okay? And surrounding, watch this, excuse me, surrendering to what? The will of your higher self. That's the hardest part. In Malcolm X, he had to humble himself to God. Why? Our ego won't allow us to humble ourselves. Once you control the ego, you become humble. Life takes care of that. And now you become a better individual. Why? Because you got humbled by yourself, not outside sources. Oh, life got a way of humbling you, but you might as well do it willingly. Begrudgingly is hard. It's hard. Okay, understand that. So moving on, watch this. And when you surrender to the will of God, these techniques allow one to what? Transform from the caterpillar to the butterfly. I give that analogy because that's how it is. You'll be a different dude, a different woman. You will be a different person. Why? Because you done blossom into the real you. Caterpillars, you just inching along, just getting by. Hope, but eventually, you have to make the transformation for yourself. That's what right thinking philosophy does. And watch this: one will transform one's waking personality so that one may what? Discover their innermost self, which is God, big bold letters. This should, watch this, and could be done under the guidance of a qualified teacher, a spiritual master, a sage. Me. I ain't trying to be egotistical, but that's my point. You need somebody to help you. I'm here to do that. I do what I do for you. Let me wrap this up for you. Again, I appreciate you. Now, the energy centers of the subtle body are linked, and likened to a tree. Go on there. Okay, tree of life. It's likened to a tree, which is what? The aspirant climbs. In this tree, you climb from the bottom up. Okay, you work your way up, and we deal with that later, but that's the idea. And watch this. What's the intent? Watch this. The aspirant climbs through what? Personality integration, which is what? Bettering your personality as you go, learning how to master, and which leads to what? Intuitional, which is I said, realization of what? The transcendental self, your higher self. In the process of what? Creation, the creative energy manifests in the form of 6 planes of consciousness. Watch this. That's the next 6th level. The 7th level is way outside of you. Okay, the crown chakra is above you. But this is the realm of the phenomenal reality, including physical, astral, and your mental existence. Most people exist where? On the level of the first 3. Again, the first 3 degrees. Energy, consciousness, levels. The goal of right thinking philosophy, yoga, is to what? Unite you with the 6 phenomenal consciousness centers with the 7th or transcendental realm consciousness, the absolute. The absolute is what various religions refer to what? The different names. They have different names for what's this? God is referred to by different names. The kingdom of heaven, Asar, Krishna, Brahmin, and Tao, etc. Everybody has a different name for God, which is fine. But if you look right here, right quick, that's the scales of Maya. Okay, you see the scales, the 7 rings down here where I'm at. Anything below 3 belongs to him. If you didn't raise your consciousness to above the beastly nature or just the 3rd degree, you won't make it. So he get to have his way with you. So let me move right quick and wrap this up. Now, Kundalini energy does what? Flows throughout thousands of little nadis, energy channels, in which is what? Known as prana, chi. In our time, Egyptian, they call it Ra Shekhem. So we all had to understand, just call it a different name. Same thing. Now, if any of the energy channels, watch this, are blocked or oversensitized, watch this, a disbalance, aka Maya, can arise, causing what? Illness where? In the mind and even in the physical body. There are 3 most important channels, watch this, through which Kundalini flows. And these are the Sushumna, the Ida, and the Pingala. Sushumna is the straight line. The Ida is the one, and the Pingala is the other. Looks familiar? Yeah. Isis and Aset and Nephthys. And watch this. These are represented by what? The Egyptian caduceus of Tahuti, which is composed of a staff which has two serpents wrapped around it also. The state of enlightenment is further described in chapter 85 and 83 and 85, where what? The initiate realizes that the seven Urases, the deity or the bodies, the immortal parts of the spirit, have been reconstituted, meaning you have reached nihas, aka spiritual enlightenment. And the seven Urases are also described as what? The seven souls of Ra, the seven arms, and the balance of Maya, which is the scales which you can be judged by on Judgment Day. That's in this lesson, the Maya and serpent power. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you understood it. I got more for you. I'll be back.